Get ready for the prequel, sequel, spin-off movie from Snow White and the Huntsman that you've been anticipating for years. Welcome back to Movie Reedviews, where I review some new movies and talk about stuff. So I'm going to review The Huntsman, Winter's War. Like I mentioned, it's kind of like a prequel and a sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman. I'll go into that later. It stars Chris Hemsworth, Emily Blunt, Jessica Chastain, and Charlize Theron. So the movie's mostly about the huntsman needing to go get the magic mirror from like the first movie, the big golden circle dish kind of thing. And he involves the help of, some dwarves, which is weird. I didn't really expect that part, as well as some other help, like the warrior, which is Jessica Chastain's character. And they're going after that, but they also have to deal with, the main evil queen from the last movie, as well as the Ice Queen, which is her sister. It's not Elsa, I forget her name, Freda or something. I guess she's German, and she's the Ice Queen who's also trying to go after them. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. So the movie's a prequel in the fact that the first, third of the movie, or, part of the first act is setting up the story for the rest of the movie, so it's kind of a prequel to the first movie, Snow White and the Huntsman, and you get to be introduced to, Chris Hemsworth and Jessica Chastain's character, the huntsman and the warrior. I kind of like their chemistry. The movie itself is not the best. It's kind of cheesy at times, but their chemistry was actually pretty good. But it sets up their story, and then later on, the rest of the movie is pretty much a sequel. It fast forwards past the events of Snow White and the Huntsman to go into some other things going on, and them having to get the magic mirror back from the hands of evil. And then you also get to see a little bit of the relationship of the evil queen and the Ice Queen, how they're sisters, them growing up, them trying to learn their powers, and both, I don't want to spoil anything, because there are some things with the Ice Queen that go on, and the evil queen, but basically you get to see their relationship together. Really quick for the acting, Chris Hemsworth is fine as the huntsman. It's kind of like Thor with a couple axes instead of a big hammer, because he's smart and witty and just like that nice guy with the long hair and abs. And then Jessica Chastain, actually she was pretty good at the warrior. She did have some development and she had some depth to her character. And then you have the two queens. Charlize Theron just chews the scenery whenever she's on. She wasn't in the movie a lot, but whenever she is on, she just likes being that villain. And then Emily Blunt, even though I love Emily Blunt and all her performances, this one was just okay because she's not given much to do. So, if you like Emily Blunt, just know that her character in this movie basically just goes, looks sad and angry part of the time. Yeah, so this movie is basically a cheesy fantasy film. It's a poor man's version as well of the first one, Snow White and the Huntsman. And it just focuses too much on, this cheesy love story. And by that I mean, a lot of times Chris Hemsworth's character, the huntsman, when things are going on and the Ice Queen's like, oh, your love, because him and the warrior are in love, it's like, your love, I'm gonna destroy it, and then he's like, no, love conquers all, and he has a Scottish accent, and it's just, a lot of times he's delivering lines like that, love conquers all, our love is the best, and things like that, and it's just super cheesy. And then by poor man's version of the first one, I mean that just nothing surpassed the original, even though the original I thought was pretty good, except for the Snow White part. So Snow White and the Huntsman, I liked a lot of the things except Snow White, Kristen Stewart giving that speech. But then you have this one, which is just kind of the action is there, but I don't think it was as good. The effects were there, but they weren't always up to par. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it wasn't. And then you have some, romance, you have some action, you have some comedy, you have some drama. The comedy kind of hit here and there. So there was just a lot of different aspects to the movie, and the comedy mostly happened because of these dwarves that tag along with the huntsman to find the magic mirror, and they mostly provide the comic relief. But I didn't go to see, these dwarves also fall in love, which that's a part of the story, and I didn't see, I didn't want to see Huntsman and the Seven Dwarves. There weren't seven, but that's just my nickname for it. So like I'm getting at, there's just a lot of things going on. There's a lot of different things. The movie didn't know what it wanted to be. It's a cheesy fantasy film, and the dwarves were pretty much unnecessary. Alright, almost done here. Last two things that pretty much bugged me. There's a snow filter that kind of happens anytime the Ice Queen is on. You could see some snow in the background, but then there's also a glaze and snow falling in front of her. So it's almost like they took an Instagram filter and just put it over any of the Ice Queen scenes, so you would see snow or ice fall, and it kind of bugged me. But then also the other thing is, they have a lot of narration, especially in the first act, and it's all from Liam Neeson. So it's not just like a normal voice. It's anytime Liam Neeson is talking, I'm like, there's the guy from Taken, there's Ra's al Ghul, there's Aslan, there's Qui-Gon Jinn. It's like, the Liam Neeson's voice just distracted me too much. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, this movie's been out for a week, so if you're still deciding whether to see it or not, if you like those cheesy or fantasy films, so like Lord of the Rings is an action-packed good fantasy film, but this one's more cheesy. If you like Labyrinth, but even Labyrinth is darker than this, but it's kind of like a fantasy film, so take it for what it's worth. Yeah, 2.5 stars out of 5. Some of the things hit, some of the things missed. It was just kind of like meh. Some of the action was good, some of it wasn't. Some of the effects were good, some of it wasn't, some of the acting. You get my point. It was an okay, just meh film. But have you seen it? Did you like Snow White and the Huntsman? What are your thoughts about that movie? And then if you've seen this, drop some comments below and let me know about that as well. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll get updates on other reviews and other videos I do. Next week, Captain America Civil War. So yeah, look out for those videos. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.